So this is the top that we are going to make. So I'm going to make the back of my top longer than the front. I also want to make a slit at the back. This is going to be a simple but very elegant top that you can wear with your favorite pair of jeans. Let's take some measurements first. Measure how deep you want your neckline to be. Length of the top from the front. Now the length from the back. And I want my top to be longer from the back than from the front. Now take the hip measurement from the widest point. Let's make the pattern now. So we begin by copying the base pattern to a new paper. If you haven't got a base pattern, watch the video using the link on the screen to make one for your exact body measurements. When you trace the back pattern, leave 1 inch gap from the edge of the paper. For our design, we want to reduce the width of the shoulder by taking out 1 inch from the neck point and 1/2 inch from the armhole. Then draw the new neckline. Widen the armhole by 1/2 inch from the side as shown in the diagram. Now measure off the length BH from the neck point and draw a horizontal line. Draw another line 3.5 inches below the waistline of the base pattern. Mark 1/4 of the length HP on the line. Now you can draw the sides of the pattern like so. Mark the seam allowances as shown in the diagram. To make the facing, trace the neckline to a piece of paper. Draw 1.5 inches around the neckline for the facing. Leave another 1/2 inch for the seam. Follow the same steps to make the facing for the armhole. Let's do the front now. Again, copy the base pattern onto a new paper. We don't leave an allowance at the edge because we are not going to make an opening from the front of the blouse. Reduce the width of the shoulder by 1 inch from the neck point and 1/2 inch from the arm. Then mark the depth of the neckline NH from the neck point and move that measurement to the midpoint of the pattern. Widen the armhole by 1/2 inch from the side as shown in the diagram as well. Now measure the length FH onto the paper from the neck point and draw a horizontal line. Draw a line in the middle of the front dart and make a cut like so. Now close the side dart. Glue a piece of paper to close the gap created by removing the side dart. Draw another line 3.5 inches below the waistline of the base pattern. Mark quarter of the HP value on the line. Now draw the sides. Now check the sides of the front and the back pattern and make a correction to the side length of the back. Mark the seam allowances. Again, to make the facing, trace the neckline to a piece of paper. Draw 1.5 inches around the neckline for facing. Leave another half inch for the seam. Mark the middle of the facing. Do the same to make the facing for the armhole. Label the facings to identify them. Fold the fabric in half so both selvage lines of the fabric are aligned. The good side of the fabric should be facing inwards. Pin the pattern to the fabric. Remember to place the front pattern on the middle fold of the fabric so that when you cut it, it comes in one piece. Now we need to trace the lines of the pattern onto the fabric. Once copied from the paper, remove the pattern and pin the fabric together. Turn over and trace the lines to the other side. To make the slit at the back, make a mark at the waistline like so. Now we are ready to stitch our blouse. Pin the front side shoulder to the back piece along the lines. Good side of the fabric should face inward. Pin facing as well. If you can't remember which one is which side, check the paper pattern. Now stitch the fabric using a sewing machine. First do the shoulder seams. Then stitch the facings. cut off any excess fabric like so. I use a zigzag stitch to sew the hem of the facing and the sides of the blouse. Pin the facings to the neckline and the armholes. Sew all the pieces together along the lines. We make small cuts or notches in the seam allowance around the neck and the armhole like so to achieve neater edges. Now fold the seam allowance toward the facing and make an understitch. Iron neck and armhole facings to press them in place before sewing the sides and the back. Pin the sides and also the back. Sew the pieces together. Stitch the back until the marking we made. Then I stitch the end sideways about 1/4 of an inch. Iron the back slit and the facings again. Hand stitch the facings to the shoulder seam and back of the neck so it stays in place. We don't need to stitch the facing all the way around, only enough to hold it in place. cut off any extra fabric from the bottom edges of the blouse. Stitch the hem of the back slit from 1 or 2 places. Finally, we hand stitch the bottom hem. Fold the hem twice and pin it. You don't need to pin it all the way around. To reduce the number of stitches visible from the front, I only penetrate the stitch to the front once in a few strokes. Before finishing the hem, make sure the two sides of the slit are the same length by pinning the slit together before folding the hem, like so. Stitch the hem of the back slit from 1 or 2 places. Iron the garment again. There you have it, your custom made top made to your exact measurements.